Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. We're now going to be continuing the next 4 stages of the fan home release of Build Your Own R2-D2. So R2-D2 really coming together. We're actually going to be doing a lot of the internal frame, and we're doing a little bit more of what we're working on here, which is the main body of R2-D2. Eventually, a lot of people are going to weather this up so it's not so clean. I never did it with my R2-D2 over here. I'll have to see. I'm not keeping my R2-D2. It's going elsewhere, so I'll have to see if the recipient wants me to weather it up. If I do that, if I do that, I will put it on the channel so you can see it. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here in the video description, and you can get this all the way from pack 1. But as I said, we're going to start with the frame today, so without further ado, let's get cracking. So, stage 71. We haven't done this for a while. Let me just show you one of the magazines again. So I'm going to slowly just flick through so you can see the content of the magazines. Each stage has its own magazine. The magazines are a collection in themselves, to be honest with you. And as you can see, today we are going to be working on the bottom ring of the R2-D2. So by the end of it, it's looking just like this. Now, previously we had created this section here, and we had also created this section just here. Let's open the pack up. Stage 71 here, and more parts to the ring. As you can see, there's no screws in this. We would have had the screws from the last packs. And I'm going to lay this out exactly as it goes. So I've got all of these numbers facing up towards me. And I'm just going to put the last bits in here. So we're going to have this section here, again with a number facing upwards towards me. That section there with a number facing towards me. Kind of like that, I guess. These are going to go underneath. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 on that side. And they're going to be held in by 2 times 4mm screws. Now these are going to be the silver screws. Move that just over for a second, just so I can show you them. They look like this. There are 2 kinds of 4mm screws. These are the smaller kind. One looks a bit thicker than that one. Okay, so all it's a case of doing is putting these into place. Just like this. And they're actually screwed in once I've got one in. There you go. With these screws. So that one's 1. And this one here, number 2. Move around. So again, put this section in here. It's actually easier to connect to them outside of this little tab, but there we go, I managed to get it in. 2 in this one. Just like that. And then finally, the last one here. That one's gone in a lot easier. 1 and 2. See, I didn't have to pick that up at all, but I have got a completed ring. So with the numbers facing me here and the numbers facing up with this smaller end facing towards me, this is going to go on top of this section just here, like that. We're then going to be taking part BF21 here, and that's just going to go over the top of the lugs that we've got there. And it's going to be held in from the other side with a 2.5 by 8mm countersunk screw. I'll show you what they look like. Now they look just like this. They've got a flat head to them. And as you see on the board, the cutting mat I've got here, these are 8mm. So turn it over. I'm going to secure these in from the other side. One this side there. And then just one on the other side. And then we had one of these in a previous stage. We're going to do exactly the same thing, but just on the other side, like that. Held in again with the same screws. One there, and one in the other side. You're probably saying, Wayne, why aren't you putting oil in? These are metal screws. It's because the threads are really well cut in this build. We don't need oil. They go in absolutely perfect, as you can see there. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So, moving swiftly on to stage 72, as you can see, we've got some details here which are going to go into the body that we were working on in the last pack. So, I'll just put this to one side, turn it over, and as you can see, line up the details to what we've got. And we're going to put each one into that main body so it looks just like that there. So I'm going to lay this out as they've done in the instructions here. So we've got this piece here, the speaker. Looks like the speaker case, M3 2.3 by 6mm self-tapping screws. That means they've got the furthest away threads, and they're the black screws there. So, first one we're going to deal with is the one that's going into this hole just here. That looks like this. There is an arrow on there which is going to dictate which way round this goes. We want the arrow to be down, so it's facing towards this edge just here. So that goes in like that. Turn that around, because this is where the speaker's going to be, and we've got the speaker grill which looks like this, that's going to go onto the other side. Sort of goes up at an angle here, so you see we've got a notch just on that edge there. That's going to go into the notch there, so line that notch up. There we go, that's in like that, and we're going to secure that down with one of these self-tapping screws. Perfect, so that's now in place and it's holding its own, can't come out. Take the speaker, no point in undoing it at the moment, and we're just going to be putting that face down into that section just there, and then over the top of it we've got the speaker cover to stop that coming out. That's going to go in there. I'm just going to make sure that I'm not pinching this wire. I think we're good. There's a little notch for the wire to go through there, as you can see. I think I will just undo that wire, it's going to help me out. Might be better to actually mount the speaker in there first, so you can see how that wire is going to trail out. Then put that over the top, just like that. Secure it in, again with the self-tapping screws. So that's one. And just one on the other side there, that's number two, and we now have a speaker in, and that's all there is to do in that stage. In issue 73, again we've got some spacer rods to put in, lots of screws in this pack which we're going to be storing for later times, but we're going to take the base that we've been working on last time, get these spacer rods in, so by the end it's looking just like that. Now before I continue, I have noticed a mistake. Because parts are actually printed the same, I'm just going to take this part out here. It means that because I want to keep these symmetrical, it does mean that I need to take one of these out and reverse it. So even though I said earlier, this isn't something the magazines have told us, this is just something I've noticed before I put these lifters in. Just take this out. We need to actually flip this one round because I want to put rods in this hole, this hole, this hole, and there should be one on that side, but as you can see it's there. So I just need to flip that one round. Should be a nice simple thing to do. But these basically are the same parts as the one over there, and we don't want it that way, so just flip that round. That's now in the right place. Matter of fact, it might help if I align it first in here, like that, and then just screw this back into place. It's lucky I noticed that. But once again, I'm sure everyone might have been shouting at me. I always leave my mistakes in these videos. I'm only human. That's what makes the World of Wayne channel the World of Wayne channel. Most people watch it to see the mistakes. Hey, I got this one first. I wasn't having to cut the video a lot to actually get round to it. Just put these two back in, and then that would enable me to start putting these rods into place. So I need an 8mm screw with a rounded end like that. They're going to go up through the bottom of this section here. Take a rod, and we're just going to be screwing that onto the screw. I'm holding it with my finger. You should be able to get it tight with the finger. You don't need any tools for that. And we're just going to keep repeating that for the other 3 rods. So 2 go in this way. So 1 this side here. Perfect. And then we just got 2 into this middle section here. So 1 there. Perfect. Last one in the other side. Now you can see why I needed to switch that over, just to make it symmetrical there. There we go. That's all the upright rods in place. Now we've got these supports to put in. 2 of the ends are slightly smaller and have got a threaded side, and 2 of the ends have just got a clear side which can pass a rod or a screw through. It's the threaded side and the clear side. We need to know the difference there. The reason being is because the clearance side, this is the bigger holes that are on this side, are going to go into this base as well. They're basically going to go onto these 2 sections here. So one is going, oops, get it round the right way, this way, and then the other one will be going on this way, so that the threaded side of this is at the top there. Now it's basically saying to use a screw. What screw? Who knows? I'm going to try with some of the screws that come in this pack first. These look like 2x4mm, like that. So I'll get one of these in and see if this is the right screw. That one's fitting pretty perfect, so that's the one I'm going to go with. Now they come in this pack, the 2x4. Look like that. So I'm going to go with those screws. So 2 that side. And just 2 on this side. It is funny that it doesn't actually tell you what size screws, but as you can see, it means that those screws don't come out the bottom there. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So that leads us to the last stage. Flick through, and as you can see, we're going to be creating some more of the body, just like we did for this side here. Exactly the same way, putting some details on here, turn it over, so by the end of it we're adding onto what we've already created there. And I've got all the parts out, and just like last time, we have got this shoulder bracket piece in here, which is going to go in this side. It's not actually kept in at this stage at the moment, so you probably will find when this is in, it does have a habit of falling out. I'm quite lucky it's actually staying in at the moment. So that's in like that. We're going to be creating this side here, although as you can see on mine, it's already been put in just like that. So basically it's done the work for me. This section is just going to go on like that there, and this is going to be the first piece that's going to go into this indent here. So it goes round this way, so we put the tabs in first, just like this, and then that will fit flush in there. Turn it over, and it's going to be held in with some of the 2x4mm black screws. You'll have to go through your box of tricks, but that looks just like that there. So one in this side, and just one in the other side there. Perfect. So that looks like that. We've got another piece which again had already been created for me. This blue section is just going to go underneath here, so it fits in like that there, and you can guess where this goes, going on the bottom there. So once again, we have got some tabs just to put in there so it fits flush. Turn it over, and this time we're going to be using 2.3 times 6mm self-tapping screws, and I'll just show you what they look like. A bit longer than the last ones. So need 4 of these. Let's get all of these in. These did actually come in the last pack, these black screws, so you can use them from the last pack rather than have to go through what you've saved. All we got to do then is put these braces on. Now if you remember last time, you do have an arrow on this side here. One side's got an arrow, one side hasn't. The arrow needs to be facing outwards, so this one's going to go on there, this one on there, and finally this one on here, with all the arrows facing out. Again, they're going to be held in with 2.3 by 6mm screws. These are slightly thicker than the ones we've just used. I am trying to identify screws for you. I am aware on this build it's a little bit of a nightmare. Little bit of a nightmare trying to figure out what screws you're using. So hopefully my descriptions help a little bit. Again, all of these 2.3 by 6mm black screws did come in the last pack as well, so you can use them from there first. And all we're going to do is bring over what we've created last time, and this is just going to go onto this edge just here. Again, held in with the 2.3 by 6mm screws. Once I get one in, it'll be easier to actually have a little bit of control over this. And this is the last one, just here. So they're all in. We've done half the body now, which looks just like that. As a matter of fact, I'll show you on the main camera. That's all there is to do in this stage. That's all there is to do in this pack. So as you can see, it's quite big. We also created the ring here, as you can see. And that's pretty much what that's looking like as well. So moving on. I do believe that we are going to be going back to the dome, head dome soon, to actually attach some more of those panels in. Then it comes to a case of doing the electrics and doing the other side of the body, which has got quite a few little gadgets in. Tools coming out, arms coming out. It's all over the place. Anyway, if you want to get this for yourself, I'll put the link once again down here to the Fan Home website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.